So when you're driving, you've got to look around. It's cold in the morning. People are trying to get to work, come home. Got a lot of young drivers on the road. So when I'm backing up, I'm looking around. This is the front view today. Take you through the process. Also, people with electric cars, their charges might be down, so they might get the fuel economy they need. Always turn into the nearest lane. I have layers on it and it's still cold. The car's still cold. It's been running for about 7-8 minutes. So you've got to make sure your car is winter ready or worthy. And what you see is a view of the Midwest typical city. Make a lane change, get over. But as the car gets warmed up, we'll be able to navigate safely. You got to have breakfast in the morning. That gets your day going. Of course, the holidays are here also. So that's a happy and sad day for people. Sad because they have lost loved ones. People in prison have passed. This is the main thoroughfare, typically in the United States. It's 4 lanes. Traffic is about 50 miles an hour. People do run lights. They're tired. They're not paying attention. They're going to work. They're coming home. What does this mean for you as a beginning driver? Just take your time. Don't get comfortable running lights. Because if you get comfortable running lights, eventually you will get hit. This road is 2 lanes and then it turns into 6 lanes. As you can see, it's starting to become light, but it's still hard to see. Both lanes are good. You just want to try to stay smooth in that tailgate and really focus on the safe driving. I'm a little bit to the right. I was out of the groove to the left. That's why I was really bumpy. Each road or lane has grooves in it. That's where you want to drive. We're on a one-way. I've seen cars go the wrong way on this road before, so you really have to stay alert. I'm scanning, looking for cars with no blinkers, animals, pedestrians. You really have to use your peripheral vision, look around, and see things. Sorry about that. the past 24 hours, we've had major accidents across this area because of freezing temperatures, inexperienced drivers. The middle lane is a smooth lane. You can see left, see right. And the car is just starting to get warm after about 15 to 20 minutes because we have to get the antifreeze and coolant circulating through the engine as well as the heater core. The heater core is an aluminum circular apparatus, and you see that car is changing lanes left and right, erratic lane changer. So once the heater core and the coolant warm up, the blower fan, when you turn the heat on, you're turning on a fan. The fan will blow cold air in front of the erratic lane changer. They're the most dangerous. They're not paying attention. They're dangerous to themselves and me. So you get a chance to see this. They've changed lanes 4 times. Don't become them. So with the heater core, once the car is warm and the fluid is circulating through, the fan will blow and then you get warm air. So the car is starting to get warm, but my hands and feet are still very cold. So this means you need to wear the proper jacket or hat or gloves. We're in a 4-lane road now. We went from 2 to 3 to 4. The 2 middle lanes are the smooth lanes. That's where you need to be. The lane to the right, if you're in that lane, is slower, but people are going to be stopping, not using blinkers. There's a Mustang to the right. You can hear it, but it makes you wonder, in about 10 or 15 years, are we really going to have cars that make sounds like that with the electric EV revolution? I talked to an engineer. He said about 10 years out from really adopting EVs, electric vehicles. I see this in driver's education also, because typically I spend about $40 every 24 to 36 hours in gas. So if I had an EV I could charge up, then that cost would be minimized. The only way I would get an EV is if I could get the plug installed at the house. That makes sense. Charge up in the morning. And then with my schedule, I would drive 4 hours or 6 hours, take it home, charge it up, teach class, and then go after and drive. So I'm really considering that electric vehicle. I'm going to proceed through. I'm not going to slam my brakes. We're okay. We're going to maintain and never slam brakes. So Ford has the Mach-E. They have a home charger set up where they would, help you find an electrician, get it installed. And then Tesla also has their program. So I'm looking for an all-in-one solution. But then we could train people in safe driving practices with the EV. Now, what is this? Okay, they're work for the county. So if you're not paying attention, you could easily rear end them. As you can see, it's kind of peaceful and chill, but you've got to watch, you've got to pay attention. But I have been looking for an EV for adult ed driver's education, and I think that would be fabulous to become more fuel efficient, have more safety, better technology, and then really teach people how to drive in an EV. So I'm definitely considering this. I have a choice. I can make a lane change to the left or the right. I don't want to make a lane change to the right. Cars are pulling out, making right turns. Some use blinkers, some don't. I'm okay this moment, but eventually I need to get over 2 lanes to the left. Looked over my shoulder. I'm going to make one move now. Okay. That car, I believe, is an early 2000s Firebird. I think it's got an LS2 in there. I'm a car. It looks pretty clean, but in the wintertime that would be terrible because it's only rear-wheel drive. It's a pretty nice vehicle. All vehicles have their places. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get over one more lane to the left. Now I'm all set. But once you're with the flow of the traffic, you don't have to speed. You can stay relaxed. But you see cars coming out, right? Some cars will just pull out in front of us, and I'm lifting my foot. We've lost about 10 miles an hour. There's heavier traffic, more congestion as we get into different areas. No blinker, very confusing, throws you off. It's taken about a half an hour to really get this thing warmed up. It's kind of like your uncle's old school Impala that has a big block 450 Ford, big couch seats, dual exhaust. It's kind of loud and big, but once it gets warmed up, you kind of sit back and then you feel safe and comfortable. We've all had uncles like that. Or they have the Delta 88. Those cars have places too. But it's 2024, so we're looking at sustainability, fuel economy, safety, adaptive cruise control, lane departure, charging stations. So a lot has changed. But I've been blessed to grow up with some of these guys who really are high performance enthusiasts, and now the next generation will be switching out battery packs and putting in turbos and superchargers. Speaking of a battery pack, there's the Tesla ahead of us. I'm already here. I'm not going to slam brakes. Now here's the situation. My lane ends, so I'm just going to keep space. I probably made a mistake. I'm hesitating, so I'm just going to fall in behind them. Yep. I'm not going to get cut off. This car's behind me is mad. Don't care. I'm going to keep my space and protect my interests and not be rude about it, because I don't want to cut off these guys. And the car behind me really like tailgated me. So this is the safe thing to do. We got a lot of traffic here, so we just have to wait. This solid white line, in some states and provinces, you'll get a ticket if you cut across. We're just going to take it all the way out till the line is broken. Then we'll legally be able to make the lane change. You see the young Tesla over there, one with the ranges. See how it works? And I came in right behind them. Now, I followed the law. I did good. And now I'm going to squeeze my brakes. I'm not going to cut them off. I just flash my lights, telling them they can get over. And I'm allowing them to work. You see how dangerous it is right now. There's a lot going on. So just take a step back, analyze this environment. And this will definitely bring on anxiety or people driving aggressive or cutting you off. So there's no need to do all that. If you just drive smart, and you get us over, that was pretty good. So now I'm driving smart. I'm in the middle lane. Didn't have to cut anyone off and cause an accident. And the temperature out here is about 25 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's very cold. Tires won't grip as good, and I just want to maintain good speed. That's what I'm trying to do, is stay with the flow of the traffic. and just be patient. And as the flow picks up, sorry I'm raising my voice, as the flow picks up, you'll be able to analyze what's going on. So I'm moving pretty good. Remember I told you about your uncle having that 454 big block, the 427, those old school cars. I had uncles like that, so I was blessed to be around them. And I really learned a love and appreciation for cars. So we're just taking our time. I look at how people drive. This person in this vehicle will have to cut me off. So let's see if they use a blinker. No, we're putting everyone at risk. Don't be that person. So I'm keeping space. I'm traveling with the flow. I'm not pushing the flow. There's a difference. And I'm lifting my foot. Now I gotta squeeze my brake and use the ball on my foot. Then they're making a, nope, they're just drifting over to the left. So you see what we're doing, is staying nice and smooth. This is heavy traffic in a metro area, Metro Detroit, Metro Houston, Texas, Metro Atlanta, Georgia. Heavy traffic. So we're just trying to maintain good speed. 3 lanes, 27 degrees. It's very cold out here. We have a half a tank of fuel. Our car's running good. And I'm trying to keep my distance and space and not really slam the brake because I'll slide. About 1 in 7 vehicles is an EV. So I'm wondering, how are they doing in the state of charge? That vehicle should be to the middle or right lane. It should not be to the left. Bigger vehicles should be to the right. We're moving good. I'm keeping space. But this is why you need to learn how to drive to get that job in Metro Atlanta, Georgia, Metro Detroit, Michigan, Metro Houston, Texas. It's exciting. But it's also kind of stressful because you're driving in this heavy traffic. Am I going to have a parking spot? Or my car break down? Will I make it on time? It is stressful because I've done this before. And now I'm just keeping space. I'm going to stay in the middle. I'm not late. I'm chilled. I'm looking ahead. I see brake lights, so I'm just squeezing the brake. And this part is what beginner drivers miss. They're not paying attention and then they slam. So I'm just trying to take my time, be smooth, and go with the flow. So in the beginning of the career, I used to just have 1/4 of a tank of gas, almost run out of fuel. Now I'm at a half a tank of gas. Okay, you got to be able to have fuel to get in and get out quickly, and then you'll find this half a tank might get you 1 day back and forth to a metro area, maybe a day and a half. So that's why you need to work. I'm going to go ahead and get over my lane to the right, and then I'm going to take my time. So I'm in the right lane. They were tapping brakes for nothing. I'm confused. My distance is pretty good. So I see the truck coming out. I'm ahead of them. They'll fall behind me. It depends on what type of driver you are. If you're going to be aggressive and cut people off, you're going to get cut off. If you are chilled and relaxed, which I try to be, you're going to learn from watching my videos. You're going to learn from your mom, your dad. I'm just lifting my foot again, keeping the space. This does take some finesse, where you're just smooth and chilled. Everything's real nice. Good space, good speed. And I understand you get whatever car you can afford. If it's a 2010, that's fine. It's 14 years old. If it's a 2000, it's 24 years old. Everyone can afford a new vehicle. You just get good tires on it. You make sure the car is tuned up, good brakes, good tires, oil change, check the belts and hoses, make sure the heat and AC work good, and then you drive it. Who cares if it's a 1997 full-size van that's been to Florida? Don't laugh, I bought one. That thing lasted about 8 years. What happened? The tie rod ends broke. I was coming back from Wisconsin. But that vehicle served me well. Put brakes on it, tires, trailer hitch. So you'll see those older vehicles every now and then, $500, $750. You need to have a backup vehicle. That's what I strongly suggest. Okay, people to the right don't usually stop. I'm gonna go up real easy. You should see the rear of the tires on the ground. If we get rear-ended, we'll just have the rear-end collision. If not, we'll be pushed. My nephew got into a crash. He got rear-ended. He was too close to the car in front, and as a result, his car got pushed into the second car. His car was totaled. It was okay. He had a concussion, some mild cuts and scrapes. So you always want to leave an out. People are walking, cars. I'm not sure what these people are doing. Okay, we're gonna go over this crossover. We'll go real slow and easy. This bridge is elevated. It could be frozen. Squeeze my brakes real light. I don't know what's happening. I'm actually looking for blinkers to see when I can go. I'm looking for a gap or space. Here's my gap. There I go. And then I go into the proper lane. Taking my time, having really good space, good speed. Staying nice and smooth. And this is the service drive. It runs parallel to the expressway. So if you had anxiety, I would take you here and have you drive on this particular road. I'm going to go ahead and stop. 3 seconds, 1001, 1002, 1003. And then I would make my turn. I got to pick up this client. I'm going to turn out. And I need to make a left-hand turn. And then I'm going to go in slow. And make a turn. And then I'm going to follow these arrows in. The arrows up and down, so we're going the correct way. The angled parking spots on the left and right. I like to park on the end. And then I'm gonna pull in. And now my car is square in the parking spot. There's a lot of things going on today. We talked about servicing your car. We talked about properly warming up the vehicle. We talked about prep in the wintertime. Cars work harder in the wintertime than summer. We talked about driving with the flow of the traffic, being a consistent driver, not cutting off people, staying consistent, being in the middle lanes. If you're in the lane to the left, you've got to go faster, passing lane. You're in the lane to the right, you're going to have cars merging on the expressway. Some will cut you off, some will use blinkers, some will not. Why would you, as a new driver, put yourself in those situations? I'm giving you real life facts, real life perspectives, because I'm a state certified driving instructor. I teach adults, I teach teens. I do a lot of tutorials. You need to be watching these videos. You need to be learning, asking questions, because the more questions you ask, the more you're going to learn. And the more you learn, the better you will become. That's a crossing guard. He or she has the vest on, they have the sign, they are a traffic control person. And if they come out and put the stop sign in front of you, you have to stop. She's even scraping her windows off. That goes to show you how cold it is in the Midwest. So have your car charged up, make sure your tires are good, belts and hoses are good. She's dressed properly for the weather. So you're learning real life examples